What happened? The Seahawks fall to the Carolina Panthers 30-24 in a game that was very winnable. No excuses for what went down as the Seahawks are handed their 6th loss of the year and now find themselves outside the playoff picture. Not ideal for this Seattle team as they lose at home to a Panthers team that, remember, they fired their coach just about a month and a half ago. Matt Rule is in Nebraska now, and yet this Panthers team found a way to steal one on the road here. We'll react to it. I'll share my thoughts and more as we answer your questions in our postgame mailbag. Let's go over the numbers here real quick. Geno Smith, 21 of 36, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Geno Smith, not his best game today. The Seahawks struggled to run the football as Travis Homer was the Seahawks' leading rusher with 9 carries for 26 yards. As a team, Seattle had 14 carries on the ground for 46 yards. Remember, they were without Kenneth Walker. They also were without DJ Dallas as well. When it came to the receiving game, Marquise Goodwin led the way with 5 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown score. DK Metcalf also had a touchdown, 5 catches, 71 yards. Tyler Lockett with 5 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. But the defense really struggled to get stops, and they struggled to defend the run game. We told you in our preview earlier this week that in every game the Panthers have won this year, they've run the football well. And Sunday was no exception. As a whole, Carolina had 223 yards on the ground. The Seahawks have struggled to stop the run all season, and Sunday was that case once again, with the Panthers running all over this Seahawks defense. Sam Darnold, 14-24 through the air, 120 yards, and a touchdown to deliver Carolina this 30-24 win. Now, let's get to our mailbag. You guys have questions. I got answers for you. Super chat to get to the front of the line. We'll also answer questions as well with the hashtag Seahawks. This first one's from D-List-Id. We definitely need to get this defense in check. We showed our hand early. What do we do? Yeah, this team was playing from behind. And with the way that the Seahawks looked at the end of the first half, I think we all said to ourselves, okay, this is not insurmountable. They can play their way back into this game, but they simply just didn't do that here. And the defense just struggled so much stopping the run. And the unfortunate thing is that there's no immediate solution here. That when you look at this team going the rest of the way in 2022, I don't think it's necessarily going to get better. There's not something that we can point to and say, add this player or do this, and it's going to be fixed. This is going to be an issue that plagues this team, I think, for the rest of the year, unfortunately. What's your one-word reaction to the Seahawks' performance versus Carolina? My one word is disappointing. I mean, you can't let that happen. That was disappointing. Inexcusable. Friend of the show, Mark Sanchez, we were talking to him in the post game, and he said that, hey, look, this is a Pete Carroll situation where you beat the teams that you're not supposed to, and you lose the teams you're supposed to. And that's what we saw today. There was no reason why Seattle should have lost to Carolina. This is a team that fired their coach not too long ago, okay? My one word is disappointing. What's your one word? Let me know in the comments section. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. And let me know what your one word is to Seattle's loss. Riley says, what are your biggest takeaways from today's game? My biggest takeaway, number one, you look at the turnovers that Seattle suffered, the 2 interceptions from Geno Smith, and that this Seahawks team, we saw them early on play from behind. And if you go back to that Tampa Bay game as well, when they played from behind, they can make things competitive, but this team can't play from behind. They have to start out well. So for me, that's the first one. When it comes to the turnovers, I'm not saying you have to play perfect because that's humanly impossible to play perfect every week. But the Seahawks have to limit mistakes. And then the run game. You got to get the run game going. And I'm afraid, folks, I don't know when Kenneth Walker's going to come back, but this has been an issue before Kenneth Walker got hurt. I'm afraid the run game is kind of lost at this point. I don't know if we're going to see the Seahawks run game back to what it was 5-6 weeks ago. And I haven't seen anything to tell me that the Seahawks are going to figure out how to stop the run defensively either. So those are my takeaways at this point. Not great for Seattle as they're handed this loss. I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Fetch. Use the Fetch app for iPhone or Android to scan your receipts to earn points and turn those points into gift cards. Whether you're shopping at Target, Walmart, or grocery shopping, or even your local mom and pop store, you can earn rewards by scanning your receipts with Fetch. You can also connect your Amazon account to your email to earn points on all your receipts. Use my link to download, chatsports.com/fetch, and enter the promo code chat and sign up for 5,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's the equivalent of a free $5 gift card to get started. As you accumulate points, you can click on Redeem in the Fetch app and choose hundreds of stores and restaurants like Amazon, CVS, and Starbucks to get started to turn those gift cards into points and see how easy it is to use. The 5,000 points offer is only for a limited time, so get started now. Chatsports.com/fetch. Enter the promo code CHAT. The link is also in the comments and the description of today's video. All right, let's answer some more questions that you guys have here. This one comes from the Boskin. Seahawks draft needs. Interior defensive line, edge, linebacker, inside linebacker, first 4 picks. We were talking to Mark about this as he called into our postgame show, and Mark made a very good point that when you looked at this Seahawks team, that, the offense we know can score points, but the defense was not able to even stop a nosebleed today. So for me, I'm looking at this group. The defense needs a lot of work. And this upcoming draft, I know we've talked a lot about the future of the quarterback position and the offensive line and all that, but the defense is going to be the priority as far as I'm concerned. So, Boskin, yes, absolutely. This team needs help with that defense, and it cannot get here soon enough. Is our run defense problem Clint Hurt or the D-line? It's the D-line, to be honest. And, Clint Hurt, I think it's hard to directly point blame on him here in year one, but we can point to the defensive line not doing their part and not doing enough there. So next year I think will be the real judge on Clint Hurt, the Seahawks defensive coordinator. But this year, yeah, you can point to the D-line. You can say that group is not good enough. They're not good enough to get the job done right now. Who was the MVP for Seattle against the Panthers? Even with the Seahawks losing here, you still had some pretty good performers here. I mean, Marquise Goodwin with nearly 100 yards receiving. DK and Tyler Lockett each playing well. Cody Barton led the Seahawks in tackles with 15 total. Who was the guy that stepped up today? Who was your favorite Seahawk? Who was the MVP? Let me know in the comments section below. Tyler Esports, good name, writes, how do you feel about the Seahawks? Do you think they can make the playoffs? Look, this is a good football team, but they've gotten in their own way a couple times this year. And so can they make the playoffs? Yeah, but they're going to need some help. Now, the good thing is when you look at the playoff picture and all that is that the Giants and the Commanders will play each other again. You have really 2 tough games coming up with the Niners and the Chiefs. They're going to be very difficult to deal with. And then you play the Jets and the Rams, and they're not going to be, any pushovers by any means. They're still going to be tough to beat in those next 4 weeks. It's a gauntlet to finish out the year. The Seahawks, I hate to say this, but in actuality here for this Seattle Seahawks team to finish the year, not only are they going to have to, win every game they can, the Seahawks are going to need help along the way. I think this team can still make the playoffs, but they're going to need help to get there. They can't do it on their own mathematically. They have to have help. Let's see. John writes, every time you wear that jersey, we lose. You shouldn't wear it on Thursdays. See how it works. Well, this is only the second time I've worn the jersey. This is courtesy of my guy, Christopher Bryson, who sent in the jersey. So the Seahawks are 0-2 when I wear the jersey. They are 3-0 when I wear the Hawaiian shirt. So I might have to wear the Hawaiian shirt on Thursday, although it's red, though. So could that be counterintuitive taking on the Niners? Might have to switch it up. We'll see. But thanks, John, for the question there. What's your one-word reaction to describe Seattle's offense versus the Panthers? My one word would be inconsistent. We saw that they were able to move the football. They're capable of moving the football, but they couldn't do it at a consistent level, at a consistent rate. To me, that's frustrating. That's disappointing. That's my one word is inconsistent. What's your one word? Let me know in the comments section below. We had a great time on our watch party. What do we say around here? Win or lose, we booze. And if you missed out on it, don't worry. We got another watch party coming up on Thursday night. Every game day, we're doing watch parties. Live shows on Wednesdays. News and rumor segments each and every day. This is the place to be. If you love your Seattle Seahawks, subscribe to the channel now. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Couple more for you. Singing writes, #Seahawks. We sold 3 games just because of the run game. What do you think we could change about the defense before the postseason? I'll be honest. I don't know if there's much you can change. It's kind of just you are what you are at this point in time. Trade deadline's passed. I mean, it kind of is what it is. I hate to say that, but I think that's the reality. I think you might try some different things schematically. You might try to load the box more, but then you risk teams throwing down the field further on you as well. So I hate to say that, but I think that's the reality, that you're just going to have to play better. It's not ideal, but that's what it is. Dolly Parton with an M. Interesting. Dolly, nonetheless. Glad to have Dolly Parton watch. Do the Hawks take Jalen Carter with the number 3 pick? They could have used Jalen Carter today, couldn't they? I like Will Anderson better than I do Jalen Carter, but I think they're both great, personally. I think there's a very good chance the Seahawks use one of those high picks, that Denver pick on one of those 2 guys when it's all said and done. I like Will Anderson more, but Jalen Carter's a really good football player as well. So we'll see. Will's my preference, but if Carter's there too and Anderson's gone, I think you go Jalen Carter, but that's fine. Either one of those guys, I think you'd be in good shape. Rate the Seahawks defense against Carolina today. It can't be a very high number. Be real with me, folks. Let me know in the comment section. Scale it 1 through 100 how you would rate the Seahawks defense today. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Seahawks there, as well as Instagram and all social media platforms. And I will see you next time right here on Seahawks Today by Jet Sports. Thanks for joining us.